Hi everybody, so excited to bring you this video because this is about a frequently asked question that I've answered to individuals so many times, and I figured it is well past time to make a video on this to let people know how to find the right shade of foundation when you're in the drugstore and you can't just crack open every container you see. You know, it's not the department store. You don't have, you know, a nice lady standing behind a counter, you know, helping match you and testing it on your face, but yet there are great drugstore foundations out there to be found, but it doesn't help you if you can't find the right shade. But there are two factors that I think come into play when you're trying to find the right foundation. Number one is formulation, and number two is shade. So when you're talking about the formula, there are different keywords that you will see that can kind of tip you off as to whether or not that foundation will be right for your skin type. So if you have oily skin, you're going to want to be looking for foundations that say something like oil-free on them, or maybe long-wearing, all-day wear. A lot of times those kinds of foundations that claim to be long-wearing, such as like Revlon Colorstay, they make a formulation for combination to oily skin, and this is known to be a very long-wearing foundation. And oil can tend to break down products on your face, so you want something that can stand up to that oil. And all-day wear and long wear can be good for everybody. If you're a normal skin type, you know, that can be great for you, because I don't know anybody who does want to be touching up their makeup all day. If you have dry skin, some keywords that you'll want to look for are hydrating. This one, Maybelline Dream Smooth Mousse, describes itself right on the packaging as ultra hydrating. Cream also, it refers to itself as a cream whipped foundation. That's something that's going to be a little more rich, a little more thick maybe. Hydrating is going to give back to your skin, and there are some foundations out there that claim to have that hydration factor or maybe a moisturizing factor. This is not a guarantee that just because you find one that says oil-free and hey, I have oily skin, that's going to work great for me. I can't guarantee that, but I'm just saying you're going to give yourself a better shot at succeeding with that foundation if you can find one that's going to work for your skin's needs. The other thing is shade, and that's really the biggie that I think a lot of people struggle with. And here's my tip. If you're shopping in the drugstore, let's say I have tried Rimmel Lasting Finish and shade 200 Soft Beige works for me. So you have a foundation at home and you think, okay, this is the one that's the closest fit for me, but maybe I want to try something else. Take this to the drugstore with you. When you're browsing through the foundations there, hold it up and decide, does that look pretty close to this shade? You know, are those pretty similar? Well, I want to try Neutrogena Healthy Skin, so those look pretty close. I think I'm going to go for that. And this is for my skin type. I wanted something with SPF. So these, you know, somewhat match. Now, are you going to run into obstacles with this? Absolutely. There's going to be foundations like this that don't let you see inside. And fortunately, this one claims to be intuitive, so it will figure out your shade. Supposedly. Not really, but that's a whole other video. You know, it's not going to work for every foundation, but there are so many foundations in the drugstore that come in glass bottles that you can do this comparison with. And then you might be saying, but Emily, I don't currently have a foundation at home that does work for me. That's why I'm going out and trying to find a foundation, because I have nothing that works. Okay, do you have something that's a little off from what you need? All right, I have this foundation at home. This is Fresh Beige from Revlon Colorstay. This is a little bit light for me right now. You can still take this to the drugstore and use this as your frame of reference here. Maybe I want to hold it up to this. Okay, I think I'm going to try a different kind, and I know this was too light. So if this is what I'm using currently, and this is too light, and this comparison, you know, this one's darker, that's the one I'm going to try. I'm going to try that shade. So it's basically about knowing, just knowing if what I have currently is just right, too light, or too dark, so you can take it in the store and make the comparisons. Because I know how hard it is to see a big lineup of all kinds of foundations, and you're looking at it and you're like, where do I stand here? So you have to get some sort of basis about where you're at. And so, and if you've never tried foundation before, if you have none at home, you're going to have to do a little trial and error with this. I'm not sure that there's anybody out there that maybe has 100% has a total winning record with drugstore foundations, because I know I've gone through a lot that haven't been just right, and if they aren't just right, I might save it for another season. Or there are a lot of stores that have return policies as well. Bottom line, if there's something you've tried and you're frustrated and it hasn't been right for you, just try to decide, is it too light, is it too dark? And another thing to think about, is it too pink, is it too yellow? You know, if you can just make the determination of what's wrong with that foundation, you can take that to the store and you can use that as your comparison guide. There are so many awesome drugstore foundations out there. If you're wanting a mini review here, I love Rimmel Lasting Finish for a great long-wearing foundation that works well for most skin types. Revlon Colorstay has a couple of formulations for dry skin or oily skin. If you like a little bit of a dewy finish, something a little more luminous, Revlon PhotoReady. I really like that as well. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Please share this with people in your life that have struggled with finding the right foundation shade, and have a great day. See you later.